Hey. How are we all doing? Great to see everyone back. Hope you all had a great weekend. And let's go. How are we all doing? Great to see you all. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. And we are back for another big week of streaming. Do get your comments in, and of course, do make sure you smash the like button for what is going to be a great stream, I hope. I know, but you guys can help make it that by dropping the like button. Do make sure we get these likes up early on, guys. Let's get them going. And of course, subscribe if you're not, if you happen to be new, wherever you've came from, however you found me. Do make sure, yeah, you subscribe. It'd be great to see you back regularly because we do go live every single day. Now I'm just going to load up the dash for the stream, and then I'll have the screen back on. But yeah, we are already cooking with 8 likes, so big thank you to those people that have liked. Those of you that haven't, do take a second. It only does take a second to scroll down and like. And yeah, let's get going. So, you absolute legends, what's everyone been up to over the weekend? Let me know in the chat. Let's see what we got. We've got BPN Mega. How we doing? What floor is the elevator going to? In my personal opinion, I mean, looking at it, I think probably we are on track to maybe retest 100k. Things can change, and we'll have a look at where them things can change on here. But with the current structure and kind of the real slow bleed and, you know, the dead cat bounces, I think it looks primed to maybe go and retest 100, in my opinion. But we'll see. I'm hoping for floor 107 down to 96 to floor 200. So BPN's got some big aspirations there. Afternoon, Loki. How we doing? It's a bloodbath out there. Yes, alts are not having a good time with it, are they? Hello, Coffee. How we doing, my good mate? How we doing? What you slurping on? Some zero sugar 7-Up cherry is what I was slurping on. Up only. We've been up only for 2.5 years. I mean, up only. What does that mean? We've been up only for 2.5 years, haven't we? So, on what time scale? I mean, if you zoom out on the weekly chart, we've been up only for 2.5 years, bar some consolidation. Really not had any severe pullbacks. Gongsy, how we doing? Great to see you, mate. Yeah, do make sure you all drop a like button. We are getting some great viewership today. Good day, Brucey. How we doing? Wiz, my man. Thank you again for coming on Friday's stream. That was epic. Big up, Wiz. And of course, Save, how we doing, mate? Hope you've had a great weekend. Looking forward to you coming on the stream on Wednesday. Steve-O, howdy, sir. Enjoy the sun, my friend. Well, I'm not enjoying the sun. I am streaming, aren't I? But hope you're enjoying the sun, mate. Are you outside working today? Yes. Oh, the legend's back. He is back. Hello, Justin. How we doing, mate? How we doing? He's back. He's back with a bang, mate. I look very much forward to catching up with you. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. But yeah, so obviously we've what's happened, a little bit of a roundup. This is something we were looking at yesterday. So obviously we've deviated the previous all-time high. For me, this is the key level to regain on the high time frame outlook. Not even so much necessarily the all-time high, because it has deviated what is the previous one. So kind of like a 2021 style. And there is, to me anyway, I don't know if anyone agrees with this, but structurally, it's looking in very, very similar to 2021. I don't know if anyone agrees with that or not. But I mean, if we go back and have a look, if you look at the similarities, again, no two cycles going to be the same, and this is not me saying we've topped out at all. Don't take it as that. But if you notice earlier in 2021, we had obviously like the long distribution range that went on for many months, just Bitcoin, you know, chopping. Then aggressive sell-off, consolidation, then a very fast rally up to the top where it didn't really spend long there, and it was just a kind of move up, move down, where this distributed. This was like peak and then bang. You have a look on there, it looks very similar, doesn't it, kind of? Where we've had, distribution, 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 aggressive sell-off, consolidation, and then again another fast move up to what looks like obviously is not looking like anyway as it stands. It looks more of a aggressive peak and sell-off if this was to come down more. But it's something I was looking at the other day, and the two structures do look very similar to me just because of how price is behaving. You can see the similarities in the distribution, the sell-off, the consolidation, the fast, aggressive pump up, and then here where kind of just come up, peaked, and then bang, come up, peaked, and obviously it's looking like who knows what could happen. We could start ripping back up. Because again, I'd be shocked if it printed the exact same kind of pattern, but you never know. But I was just looking at that. I thought it'd be interesting to mention. If anyone else has got any similar thoughts, let me know. Again, not saying that is the case, just similarities in how price is performing looks very similar. Back from holiday, ready for market to pump now. Yes. How was your holiday, mate? Hope you had a good one. Everybody now dreaming of a crash to 100k or 90k. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for anyone wanting to add to the bags, then yeah, I any sort of pullback on Bitcoin is still slaughtering alts, isn't it? Good to see you back, Justin. Yes, I'm here and shorting Bitcoin, says Pappy. Yes, Pappy, how we doing? John, great to see you, mate. Dave, did we talk mining stuff on Friday? APLD is having a good day, if anyone followed that one. We did, didn't we? Yeah, we did. We did talk mining. That was a really good conversation as well. For anyone that missed it and, is maybe wanting to pass some time later on, obviously don't go anywhere now, but Friday's stream is kind of one of them evergreen things that you can watch for, maybe the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, potentially, of mine and Wiz's discussion, because he had some great stuff to say on stocks, on miners potentially shifting over to AI and stuff like that. So yeah, that was a great discussion. If anyone wants to go and have a watch of that later, if you're looking to pass some time or watch something, it is definitely worth a watch. But yeah, this is something I was looking at yesterday, so you can see how well the channels are behaving. So for anyone not used the channels yet, do go and make sure you check out the channels, because the channels are providing some great insight into price every time price interacts at the key areas of the channels. That's on the 4-hour time frame, so obviously a bit of a higher time frame than anything else. But something I was looking for was, a potential retest of this key SR here on the 4-hour. So this is what we were looking at last night. We didn't even get up there, to be honest. We got back into here, didn't we, where price sold off. So price come up, couldn't get above this supply zone here, and has sold off again. So we didn't get up to here. Here was where I was looking for a key pivot. Either obviously reclaim this, support again here, drop back below, rejection, sell off. So for me, this was the key level to be watching out for. And we didn't get up there and test it as of yet. Anyway, we could still do that, and I still believe it would be a key test point for Bitcoin. But as it stands, we are putting in what you can potentially judge as lower lows and lower highs on the 4-hour. So where do we go from there? Well, we've got obviously a couple lows to potentially clear up, haven't we? We've got this yet to be taken. This is yet to be taken. This is yet to be taken. Then obviously coming into void in price structure from on the way up. So, a bit of a void there. And of course, the elusive 100k, big juicy round number, 100k. So yeah, that was what we was looking at on that. I mean, overall today we have been just slowly selling off, haven't we, since peaking earlier this morning, and we have been slowly selling off. Now we'll have a look at alts. We'll obviously take a look at the stock market pre-open. 101.5k a possible level to test next. I imagine, Pellin, yeah, that was probably one of, if we have a look at 101.5, I imagine that was probably one of the areas I've marked on for a potential sweep. Let's see. 101.5. Yeah, so that would be pretty much coming into these lows here, wouldn't it? I imagine that would be coming into there. Yeah, roundabout. round about where them lows are, obviously give or take. So that's where, potentially open. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it maybe had a fast liquidation. Maybe not of even this low, but you'd imagine if we're coming down here, you'd liquidate this low here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. We'll keep that on anyway. We'll name that the Pelling level. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, don't get too emotional about it. We had a super May. I mean, when you go and look at the monthly chart on May, we had Bitcoin's highest ever monthly close. So, we did swing fail the January candle. So obviously come up, close below. So that is a swing failure pattern, but we put in the highest ever monthly close on a Bitcoin candle. So yeah, I by no means do I think this is at all bearish. Just yet anyway. I mean, obviously things could turn bearish, but I mean, just had the highest ever monthly close. A pullback was going to come at some point, given that we had 7 straight weekly green candles. So yeah, it's all about obviously seeing what you think, or just follow what Stonksy says, and you don't have to have any bias then. That is the brilliance of the indicator. Let's see what's going on. Closed mask yesterday. What a run. Let's take a look at mask. Some guy says, hello, Mr. Stonksy. Can you tell us about... I don't know what that is, mate. Let's see. It's on buy. It's on the big exchanges. This one. I have no idea what this is. Let's see. Hang on. I have no idea what this is. What is... Oh, actually, I've looked at this before. I don't remember looking at this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this is. I mean, it's clearly at its historical lows, isn't it? So this is an area you don't want to see this closing below kind of that 5 cents mark, do you? Obviously, swings into it like here are fine as long as they're bought up, but you definitely don't want to see it break into new lows, because then it is in unless there's more data on a different exchange. It's obviously the Binance chart. Then it might be in trouble if it's going into price discovery to the downside. But I mean, as it stands, it's at historical lows. It looks like it's holding. I mean, there's not really much more to say about that. I have no idea what it is, but it's on the big exchanges. So yeah, there is that. Let's have a look at Wiz's mask. Let's see. Mask. I've got mask on here somewhere. Hang on. Where are you, mask? Here. I mean, what a run. What a run down from where about $1. About $1 after Perps got delisted on Binance. So that's a solid 2.5x-ish. You could buy anywhere, couldn't you, around $1. And Stonksy caught all the big moves. I mean, 1 pump, 2 pump, 3 pump, 4 pump, 5 pump. But yeah, so you've settled for take profit on that, have you, Wiz? I mean, yeah, I don't necessarily blame you. I mean, you could potentially see an argument, couldn't you, for coming into this area. I mean, that is obviously looking pretty. Oh, it did actually. It pretty much did, didn't it? There, not exactly, but I mean, depending on where you draw your box or your line or whatever, maybe that was the test of SR. So yeah, I mean, I look at that. Yeah, I don't blame you, mate. Also, coming really to the extremities of the channel. It's been riding the channel up, hasn't it? The upper of the inner channel, poking out, and then coming into key SR area. I don't blame you, mate. So yeah, really nice Wiz. Wiz is really good. If there's one thing I can really compliment Wiz on, is that his rotation is really good. Wiz's rotation is really good. Not getting too attached to anything, not being afraid to cut bags in a profit, rotate them funds into something else, or just keep some powder. Wiz is a real master of it. Banana Republic says we either pump, or if we don't, after a few weeks, it'll drop a bit more for the summer. Yeah, you could definitely see it. I mean, one thing that we could see is if we go to the weekly, who's to say? Hang on. If we go to the weekly on, say, this chart, who's to say that this isn't potentially just one big range? Who's to say that this isn't potentially just one big range now? It could be, couldn't it? It could be. We don't necessarily have to chop up and down and around everywhere. It could be just one. It could be just one big range. Yeah. So we'll see. But I mean, yeah. We looked at, actually, didn't we, the performance of summer? I think what I think it was on the monthly. What, I can't remember what chart it was on. That I think it was this one. Yeah, we looked at actually the performance of summer, because obviously it's the case, isn't it, of everyone. I think typically you would say, summer months dead, nothing really going on. But actually, it is kind of the case where you look back historically, and yeah, you might have some movement, but most of the time, where June opens and August trades within or closes is round about the same level most of the time. You can see here, obviously here is a bit of an anomaly because we got that rally, didn't we, into the end of the year. But you can see all along here pretty much where June, obviously this one was a bit more chaotic, wasn't it, when we was in this harsh bear market. But most of the time, where June opens, around about where August closes, isn't too far away from June's price action. So yeah, you could definitely make a case for that, where we are just potentially in like a range bound environment or a lull until the end of the year. I wouldn't be against that. But the good thing is, when you've got something like Stonksy, is it doesn't matter what environment you're in, whether it be bullish, bearish, sideways, bloody diagonal, up, down. As long as price is moving to the right hand side and we're not going backwards, we're all right. But yeah, as long as you've got something Stonksy, then you can trade whatever environment Bitcoin's in. That is the beauty of it. I'm just going to quab. I'm just going to grab a quick drink and then we'll carry on. But I am still here, don't worry. And we have just under an hour until US Open, so we'll go and have a look at. We'll have a quick run through alts, and then we will have a look at what the Mag 7's doing pre-market. We'll get the poll up, and then I think we'll go and have a look to see what economic data events we've got coming up this week. And then from there on, we can kind of just do as we please until US market opens, if that sounds good. Right. Let's get going. So, Coffee says, my thesis this year, Bitcoin 250k plus. In the short term, alerts set on Stonksy in 5-minute and 6-minute time frames and trade accordingly. Yeah, you are definitely a master of that 5-minute and 6-minute chart now, aren't you, mate? And it's something, if you've not looked at it yet, do make sure you check the 5-minute and the 6-minute time frames on whatever it is you're trading, Bitcoin, ETH, whatever, for the double confirmation. So what is a double confirmation? It's where you get the background color change and then you get the arrow confirmation for that color. So, for instance, red background followed by a red arrow shortly after open of the background, green background, green arrow coming in afterwards. It is a real treat, and there are a video for the 5-minute and the 6-minute one on the channel as well in recent uploads. So do make sure you check that out. But yeah, that is definitely a really consistent hitter on Stonksy for sure. Yes, Crypto Bro, how we doing, mate? Do make sure you drop a like on the stream. Get those likes up. Let's see how we're doing on the like side. So we are at 15 likes, right? There's a little bit of work to do there. So everyone take a second to go and drop a like, please. It is heavily appreciated. And we have got Bitcoin chopping around that 104k level, right? Let's go and have a look at ETH. So ETH is kind of drifting now, isn't it? Towards, I mean, you could, again, you could, there's an argument probably for drawing the box a little higher on this. You could definitely, you could definitely move it up there. In fact, it probably is better off there. But yeah, ETH is just stuck within this range, isn't it? If you look on the 1 day, oh, that's the 3 day. If you look on the 1 day, since we came up nearly a month ago, we have just been support, resistance, obviously with wicks to the outside of both sides. So, we've had plenty of wicks to the downside, a few wicks up into resistance, obviously past resistance in this case, but, up, down, bounce. So it will be telling, obviously, at the moment, ETH is retesting support of this range. And of course, if Bitcoin keeps dropping, then that pressure is really going to be applied to ETH. If we do get the drop, then obviously for recent price action, that is a big void to be filled. Obviously, as close, you've got these wicks ready to be taken out here, down towards 2,300-ish. But in terms of this move, I mean, that was a thin and fast move, wasn't it? So potentially, yes, some filling in to be done. So yeah, we'll see what we get. I mean, first, as long as it holds the range, all good. We will wait for whatever comes next after that. But yeah, Stonksy giving a great short on the hourly there, down from 2,600 and odd. So do remember, you can get 20% off your first month of Stonksy. We are still running it, so it's 20% off your first month, code BOT20. So when you come onto the website, it is the second link in the description. Or if you're watching over on X, it is in the bio. Head over to the Stonksy page. On the monthly, code BOT20. So yeah, select the monthly option and then code BOT20 in at checkout to get access to everything. You get indicator, oscillator, Discord, and trading bot access all in that package. So yeah, do take advantage of it while we're still running it. But as you can see through the market, let's have a quick flick through. We've got XRP down at $2.15, down from 228-ish on the Stonksy background change. Sol is down at the extremities of this area that we was looking at on stream on Friday. So far, it's held it, but again, dependent on what Bitcoin does, could we see some pressure applied to this? If we move to the downside, then we could be, looking at definitely the 130s for a retest lower. BNB, it's kind of pulling a Sol pattern, isn't it? Drop down and then it's kind of just chopping around. But a lot of things do look similar. What you'll notice is a lot of things look very similar when we're looking at this on the hourly. You'll have a lot of things that have dropped down and just ranging while Bitcoin ranges as well. You can see that on Adder. Link is obviously one where we've hit a great one on Stonksy again there on the hourly. AVAX bounced off $20 pretty much perfectly. And again, similarities on all these moves. But this is a great one, down from just over 23.5 cents. SUI XLM is another one because we looked at this yesterday. Litecoin is bouncing. Oh. What have we got? What else have we got? We've got Hype. Obviously, Hype, one of the best performers of recent. OM is down in the dumps. Obviously, crashed hard again late last week. And it's just ranging for now. Ondo. But yeah, nothing too much. Let's just have a flick through. Obviously, flicking through there, you can see Stonksy's got some great calls on the 1 hour. Absolutely superb. Dupe, we looked at Dupe yesterday on yesterday's stream, but there's nothing that looks like it's had mega change from what we've got on the watch list anyway. There's no like kind of big number, is there, on anything? Everything looks like it's just down a couple of percent, maybe even towards break even for the day. So yeah, nothing really to note across altcoins in particular. Loki said, send Bitcoin back up. So Loki's looking for a rally on Bitcoin today. But yeah, do make sure you drop a like on the stream and subscribe. Now, if you're watching on X, make sure you hop over to the YouTube channel to drop a subscribe. If you haven't already, make sure you're following the Stonksy X account and then hop over to the YouTube and drop a subscribe. If you're watching over there, big thank you for tuning in. Let's see how you guys are doing on the likes. 18 likes, that's good. Can we get it past 20? Please do take a second to go and drop a like. Let's get it past 20 likes. And yeah, we will move over and start looking at some... we'll have a look at the Mag 7 pre-market. We'll get the poll up as well. Just going to have another quick drink because it is still hot today, isn't it? Yeah. We'll have a look at the Mag 7. We'll get the poll up in the chat. And then we'll go and have a look to see what economic data we've got coming out this week. And then we'll carry on looking at some crypto. We've got Shoots saying Bitcoin is pumping right now just before market open. Will it continue to 106? There is definitely the argument there. There's definitely the argument there, and I'll show you why. We'll take a look now on that. I will get my camera back on for you guys. Yeah, so you mentioned in 106k. Definitely on the 4 hour. I think that is an area. So for me, it was more so looking at 107. But you can for sure see, you know, this area here is acting as supply. You know, when we drop down, this is where the 4 hour candle closes and interaction came in for pretty much nearly a day. So bang, 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 sell off after rejecting, couldn't get above. And then when we've come back up, rejection. And then obviously on the hour, the previous 4 hour candle, again, into here, rejection, sell off. So this 106k area is definitely key. Low time frame, we definitely need to get above that. And then I think, obviously, a retest of 107 will be pretty key and important for if we carry on pushing up, potentially back towards, you know, 100 and 108, 109, or if we roll over and sell back off. So, yeah, I can definitely see why you're looking at that, mate. That is definitely something to watch out for. Now, let's go and take a look at what is going on in them. Oh, that is memes. We could take a look at memes, actually, as well. We've not looked at memes today so far. So we've got NVIDIA pre-market. We are basically at Friday's close. So nothing really to report on NVIDIA. Apple, we are down very marginally, about $1. Meta, again, down very minimal. I believe Meta as well has kind of publicly rejected, hasn't it, the idea of creating a Bitcoin reserve, I think. I'm sure I've seen that. Tesla is down a couple of dollars, nothing too major. Google, same as Tesla, down a couple of dollars, nothing major. And then obviously we've got the mining stocks and, you know, MicroStrategy, what's that doing? That's around Friday's level as well. So this was what we drew, I think, earlier last week. Was what we were looking at on MicroStrategy. I was looking for a potential pull into here, so I might still get that. Who knows? I don't know. Just an idea. But yeah, there's not really much change on the Magnificent Seven from over the weekend. That's for sure. we've not really had much going on. We've got Shivan saying, tell us something about Peanut. Yeah, we can look at Peanut. Sean, how we doing, mate? Great to see you. Thanks for joining. Anyone else that's just joined, thank you very much for joining me for the stream. Do make sure you drop a big like on it as well. Now, so you're asking about Peanut. We was looking at Peanut on Friday with Wiz, and I think we was having a good old laugh about it, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, we broke down. It's now kind of coming in, isn't it, to retesting these areas. So you can see, obviously, it had a little bit of consolidation here. And then when we've come into here, so, you know, here, that's been a rejection area. Now, I mean, for me, personally, I would rather see more of this move filled in and just come and retest this from the upside. So, you know, like a pull into there and bounce. Will it maybe find some sort of level of demand in here? It could do, because, you know, you could maybe potentially class this as an SR test. But I would personally rather see the inefficiency filled in. Obviously, come and close some of that. Wouldn't get directly down to the origin, because I'd probably want to see this retest hold and then bounce from there. So that's probably what I'd be looking at on Peanut personally anyway. But yeah, broke down, so it's down today. I mean, if we could look at all memes, let's go and have a look at Trump. So Trump, not really doing much. SHIB, we looked at that last week. So SHIB has come into what we was looking at last week. And it's held pretty well, to be honest, so far, hasn't it? This is what we were looking at on SHIB. I think SHIB was up here. It was holding this support level when we looked at this. So that's a nice sell-off, obviously, back into the origin of the pump. So, yeah, you really want to see this hold on SHIB. This is a key area to hold, otherwise, you know, guess what? Oh, we're going lower. So, yeah. But, yeah, nicely held so far on SHIB anyway for these daily closes. So, if you are a SHIB bull, you want to see that hold. SPX, monster run, hasn't it? It's been a monster run. It's kind of had the run of, obviously, structurally very similar to Fartcoin with this kind of like just staircase up pattern. Just, you know, do. And it, you know what? Considering it was at 25 cents back in March, it's had a run, not even too far away from its all-time high, has it really? But again, you know, pulled into an area where you can definitely identify as supply, where this, you know, we had this bounce and then bang, you know, they're severely hit by supply coming into the market. Bonk is kind of doing what we planned out ages ago. I mean, we looked at this. It must have been back in March or early April time. And I've left this drawing on because I think this is maybe what we see on a lot of memes, where we have just had this kind of, obviously, relief rally and then slow distribution back down. But Pepe came in, rejected at key supply area. So are we potentially coming down here? Again, similar to Peanut, you know, retrace most of the move, but then come back for a key SR test and then bounce. But yeah, let me know if you'd like to see any other memes in particular. Oh, you asked for... Oh, no, we covered Peanut, didn't we? What was that then? Fartcoin is kind of making its way. I think Fartcoin probably... I would estimate, I mean, that would be a key area to retest. It might maybe do something in here. You can see the argument for, you know, maybe that obviously being where it's testing at the moment as SR. Now you've got resistance, support, testing it again. And then obviously the origin down in here. If it comes there. I lost $6,000 until now on Peanut. How? What have you? Where's your mistake been, Shivan? If you want to share anyway. Afternoon discipline. How we doing, mate? Great to see you, Nick. Yes. Link. Yes, we'll have a look at Link now. And Delta. I'm great, mate. How are you? Great to see you. Let's go and have a look at Link because Stonksy called something great on Link this week. Well, obviously late last week. I mean, if we look at the daily chart for a start, obviously we've dropped back below KSR. Here was where we was watching. sink through. We are now, testing in here, aren't we? With the origin of the pump up. And kind of similar to SHIB, where we're looking at SHIB and you want this to hold. If not, then back down towards, you could maybe see an argument for coming maybe back down into here, but this is definitely, a key area. This kind of 12, I've got it drawn as 12.35, but you could potentially, $12.50-ish region. You could definitely see that if Bitcoin carries on down. I think the market's pretty much waiting on Bitcoin, isn't it? If we start taking a slump towards 100k, altcoins are naturally going to get another hit because of how high dominance still is. But yeah, Link, on the 1 hour, Stonksy, the call down was just beautiful. Obviously, we had a bit of chopping around, didn't we? Chop. And then as Link was obviously, weakness was coming in, momentum was to the downside. We broke through. So we had red Stonksy background and we broke through support into kind of the extremities of what I was looking at as SR, and then we just sank through that as well, and I've been back down into here where we've just looked is the origin. So that on Link, but Stonksy played a blinder on that. But to all you legends that have just jumped in, please do drop a like, and it's great to have you here. We'll move on to something next. Let me know what you would like me to look at next. Right. What time is Powell news? We'll go and have a look at that. I think he's scheduled to speak, isn't he? He's scheduled to speak today. I bought peanut at 32 cents. Right, it's 25 now. You haven't got too far to go, have you? It could have been worse. It could have definitely been worse. You could have bought it higher up. Obviously, you could have bought it higher up. But as you bought it kind of towards the lower end of this range, so it wouldn't be too bad. If let me just get rid of this drawing. If Peanut regains the hang on. To be honest, I know we were looking at it like that, but I think I want to move that level to kind of there. Yeah, I'd be happy with that. So, it doesn't directly really give you any sort of magical insights, but if we regain what you would take as the range low for the second half of May from where it traded, and what acted as support around 31 cents, you're back to nearly break even then. But if you trade there, then Stonksy's got this level drawn up at 35 cents, which I think is really nice because you can see, resistance. But I don't really have much wisdom for you because round about where you've bought is round where, on the hourly anyway, you'd look at where potentially the range low is. You can see SR around this level here. Obviously, resist, bang, 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 reclaim, retest, hold, test, hold, test, hold, test, hold, test, hold, test, sink through, resistance. But I would definitely, if you're not a Stonksy user, I would definitely consider taking advantage of the bot 20 offer, and then you can see, low time frame when it signals a potential shift in momentum to the upside using the oscillator too. The oscillator is a fantastic tool for this sort of momentum. So at the moment, we just got bottoming out. If we look on the 1 hour, you can see potentially a shift in momentum coming. But again, mostly relies on Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin going to do? Link my nemesis. Is that still open, Gongsy? We still got that open? Oh, here you go. Justin. Nice, mate. Thank you. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Guessing that's UK time. So 6 p.m. UK time for anyone wondering. I mean, let's go and have a look. What else we've got coming up this week? Let's clear this. Let's just have high importance data on. So yeah, here it is. Yeah, so obviously this says 5 o'clock here, but that is UTC time. So 5 o'clock UTC, 5 p.m. UTC, and then you can convert that into whatever time zone you are. For those of you in the UK, it'll be 6 p.m. So we've got that today. We also have ISM manufacturing PMI coming in at 3 o'clock. Then we've got ADP employment change and ISM services PMI on Wednesday. And then on Friday, we've got NFP. Obviously, we've got average hourly earnings as well, but all eyes on NFP, the big one for the week, alongside Powell speaking today. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I don't exactly... Does anyone know where kind of the origin of the whole rumour that Powell's resigning has come from? Obviously, I know he met with Trump, didn't he? Was it over the weekend or on Friday? I think it was over the weekend. He met with Trump. But where is like the driving force come from? Does anyone actually know of this rumor that Powell's going to be resigning, or is it just like a theory or kind of like Chinese whispers? What are the odds on him resigning? Tell you what. Oh, you know what, Sean? Good idea, mate. Good idea. Let's go take a look. Let me load up Polymarket. Let's go and see. Let's go and have a look. Right. There must be something about Powell resigning. Let's search. What will Powell say? Let's see. All right, so this is what he will say, not No, I don't know if there is one. Has anyone got one up for Powell resigning? Will Trump remove Powell in 2025? He can't even remove him, can he? I don't think there is one, is there, for him resigning? Doesn't look like there's one on Polymarket anyway. What would it be under? Politics, yeah. No, it doesn't. I'm shocked. Oh well, I suppose maybe the rumors have only just come around, haven't they? So yeah, there isn't one on Polymarket though. SMFC says you tried Kalshi. That's the other one, isn't it? Let's go and have a look at Kalshi. I've never been on this one though. I've never been on it. Oh God, hang on. Kalshi. I've never been on this one. Let's see. Right. Let me share my screen again. Is not available. Okay. Oh, I can't go on it. Hang on. It says only available for US residents. Why can you not just have a look at it? I'm not trying to do anything. I don't know. I don't know. Oh well. It was worth a try. Powell out as chair this year has a 15% chance on Kalshi. Okay, right. So I suppose that acts, doesn't it? I suppose that acts as him, you know, if he resigned. Is that, or what's the wording of it? Because I'm guessing this one on Polymarket. This one, obviously, if Powell resigns, this one will be either, null and void or go to no, won't it? Because Trump's not removed him. I don't think Trump can't remove him anyway, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he has the power, does he, to remove Powell? Powell's on like a complete, nothing to do with politics. He's elected as the Fed official, and I think he's got until May 26th to go. I think only in like a really special circumstance. I don't think Trump, obviously, there's probably something, isn't there, where if, you know, the chair of the Fed was just doing completely wild and irrational things, he could maybe put some motion in. But I don't think he'd be able to just go, I want rate cuts, Powell's not doing as I say, I want to remove him. I don't think that would fall under special power to just be rational about it anyway. I don't know for sure. Up 5% in the last 3 days. So that's obviously probably since he met with Trump, isn't it? Which might be a load of something and nothing. I mean, I imagine probably that's a routine thing for the chairman of the Fed to meet with the president every so often. Right, we're going to get the poll up now, so we can vote on it. Right, let's go. Get the poll up so everyone can vote on the poll. Good job on the likes as well. Thank you very much. Everyone who's voted, who's dropped a like, thank you very much. If you haven't already, please do. But that's a really nice amount of likes. Thank you very much. Darshita says, "Sir from India, please captions on card though." I have no idea what that means. Sorry, Darshita. If you want to type it out again, I can definitely take a look at what you want, if it's an altcoin or something, I don't know. But I don't quite know what that second part means. But thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you. And of course, please drop a like and subscribe. It's great to have you with us. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, you can get 20% off your first month of Stonksy. So if you're watching, and obviously you like what you see, which you should, you do get full indicator access. So the Stonksy indicator is this on the background you can see here. So we have automated SR lines, as you can see here. So we've got support drawn here by Stonksy, resistance up at here. As major SR, you can have minor SR as well if you want to turn it on. We have the channels coming in, which have been a real key addition. You can see how important the channels are, all by looking at that. But if you don't know, then price spends most of its time inside the inner channel. When it reaches the extremity, so up or lower of the inner channel, most of the time, unless the trend is strong, it will reverse the other way. So as you can see, the trend was strong and it just kept hugging it. And then eventually, obviously, it encountered resistance while being up at the at the top of the inner channel and then sold off. Here again, big push up, push out into the outer channel, sell off. And then here, you know, drop towards the lower of the inner channel, bounce. So channels have been a huge addition and really, really good for trading. But you do also get oscillator access to the Discord server, and you do get access to the trading bots as well that we run on BLOFIN. So we currently have 2 trading bots out and running for users, which open and close trades directly on their behalf. And you can get 20% off all this. So on the monthly, so click the second link in the description, or if you're watching on X, go on to the bio, and it is code BOT20. You can see it here. It is in the description as well, and it's this plan that you want. So that'll take 20% off your first month, so down to £116, and we'll get you sorted with all that. So do make sure you come and take advantage of that. But yeah, we've got just under 25 minutes to go until the US market opens. So until then, let's go and have a look at some liquidation levels, shall we? Let's go and see what the heat map is showing after the weekend. So 24 hour is not surprising. You know, we've got liquidity above the local highs here and here. It's on the 24-hour time frame, and then obviously liquidity below and right below as well, where Bitcoin is at the moment. So it'll be below, obviously, this low and this low here, with liquidity source in there, and then above here, where you'd expect. Now, if you go on to say the 3-day, let's see what we've got coming up. We did take out some clusters to the upside, so took out this cluster, took out this cluster. We don't really have anything as deeply yellow, as hot as these two were, but you can see there is some forming to the downside, and obviously above here towards 106 and just above. Let's have a look at the 2-week time frame. Again, where you would, you know, when you look at the chart, you would expect liquidity below the low, so obviously where longs were piling in. But then to the upside, we've obviously got a juicy amount above, is that above 110 yet? And then, of course, big amount above the all-time high. So nothing really to report that much on liquidity-wise. Obviously, immediate liquidity below here, and above here. And that's where we'll focus for now. Yeah, has anyone got any specific coins they would like me to look at? Anything you'd like me to take a look into? Let me know in the chat. How's mode looking? Oh, I'll tell you what, let's look. Let's see. Mode. I know this was one of your ones that you held, wasn't it? Let's see. So it is still, I mean, we must have looked at this, yeah, not too long ago. It's still chopping around, to be honest. It's still like we've obviously got, you know, range low coming in down there from where we've been consolidating, and then depending on where you want to draw it, you know, range high there or wherever, doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely towards the lower end of the spectrum. So there's not really much room. I mean, any touches in here, you know, we want to see it hold, don't we? Yes, well, say we, depending on if you hold mode. You don't want to see it drifting towards new lows, so you don't really want a break of like 2.8-ish. And, you know, even if it does come into there, as long as it kind of just still chops around or stays here, then it has the chance to maybe give a upside push again at some point. As long as it holds. I mean, new lows equal bad. So yeah, but for now, mate, it looks all right. It doesn't look. I mean, obviously it's not ideal, but you know, it's not gone to new lows yet. So yeah, I want to keep an eye out on if it drifts and approaches down here, that it holds down there. What else have we got in the chat? Justin says, have a look at RSR and eGold. Yes, let's take a look. eGold's up here somewhere. Where is it? Here. Yeah, so this is what I had drawn out for eGold. So if I go to the daily, this is where I got the first range from. So between like $12 and $14, pulled that from there, and then obviously lower down we got 9 and 7. If you look on the weekly, and we pull it across, we did get a nice initial bounce from that first region here. So price came in and bounced. I wish I longed this. I didn't. I completely forgot about it, and I didn't have alerts on. So I can't really take credit for that, apart from I drawn 2 lines on the chart and it worked. Apart from that, I don't have any P&L poster to show you. I wish I did. And then we come up and we rejected, obviously, off what is now clear SR. So, on the weekly, we had low put in, retest, then test, big test, and then it closed back above. So, that was just like a liquidation wick. Then obviously tests all along here. But you notice it held on all these weekly closes, and then obviously ended up melting through. Now, we did on week commencing the 12th of May, we come up and tested that and then rejected. So prices fell back off. Now, it's not actually too far away from coming back in, testing the origin of obviously the pump, where it settled down. I wonder if the daily chart shows anything. So we have actually come back and tested obviously the origin of the latest pump, but it's not really too far away from coming back, testing this area. I mean, I'm not sure exactly where you're looking, Justin, but they're around about, the upper end of here. So around $14. Does that line up with anything of yours? Also, mate, I don't know if you want to come on tomorrow or not, but you're obviously more than welcome to now that you're back. I've got Johnny Mack saying Powell, but I'm already well aware how bad it is doing. We'll have a look at Powell, mate. Unlock started in Jan for it, so I haven't checked since then. Yeah, well, you're better off not checking. Cetus, yeah, 21.5 would be a safe entry. So let's see, where does that come in at? Okay, right, yeah. So 21.5. So yours is around there, isn't it? Yeah, so kind of similar. You're a little bit lower. I suppose it depends on if you're looking at it on a daily or the weekly or something, doesn't it? I mean, this is something, isn't it, where it's got big potential if they do anything for eGold. I mean, the tech in terms of usage, the tech is there, and while it's kind of a bit of a meme in it of like in it for the tech and stuff like that, it doesn't actually have to be about that. You look at something like Sui and stuff, once the attention gets on it, it doesn't really matter about what it's doing as long as the attention's on it. So if they can utilize the tech of it, which is really fast transactions, incredibly cheap, basically a little bit like pretty much like a Solana chain, innit? Just fast, cheap. But I haven't used the eGold network in ages, so I don't know. But if they can get the attention on it, then it is one where it could potentially fly. It could rapidly have maybe a rise up like Sui did, a couple of X, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really keep up with it, to be honest. But looking at the chart, yeah, I definitely think, above $21.50 would obviously put it in close to where I'd be looking at as well. But yeah, if you want to come on tomorrow, mate, and jump back on the streams, you are, of course, more than welcome to get back on if you want. The door is always open for you, mate. RSR, so let's go and have a look. So, that was an incredibly good pump, wasn't it? That was a great pump that it had up there. Yeah, I don't know what this is. But when you zoom in on it like that, I mean, it's not really yet to get going, is it? You've got bottoming out here. Then you've got what looks like KMSR. If I'm right, yeah. So you got kind of like SR there. Yeah, it's got good potential, like. It's definitely got good potential for good pump, but I suppose it depends on if you're looking for, you know, maybe a reclaim higher, or if you're looking to get in from down somewhere below. Came and retested that, didn't it? Which was nice. Obviously pulled back into here where price consolidates, and then bang, retest, push back up. This looks like potentially a retest area to the downside as well, if price was to get down there. Is either entry at 0.05 or retest of 11 and claiming that next level. Check on Fartcoin. Yeah, I'll have a look at Fartcoin. Eagle, good for engagement on X. Is it? Is it? You was once the king of the dot engagement, mate. What happened to that? Are you still doing it? Nick K wants to look at Cetus. Cetus is there. So Cetus had a big fall off, and it's not really done much since. It's not really done much, has it? I mean, Stonksy. See what's showing on the hourly. Kind of chopping and changing in between red and green as it bottoms out. I mean, something like this, obviously with what happened, may just stick around and chop around for a while. You know, you could see this just do all sorts of sideways action before it does anything. More like time-based capitulation. We've got 10 minutes to go until the US market opens now. Someone wanted me to look at Fartcoin, which I will do next. Delta says, Chippy, what's occurring in the catering department? I don't know, mate. Chippy is not my department. You're better off asking Spud or obviously TMG. Zane says, hey Dave, can you give me some thoughts on OM? Yeah, we can do that. Do make sure you drop a like on the stream, and of course make sure if you're looking for anywhere to trade, you sign up and create your non-KYC account on BLOFIN. It's the first link in the description, and I've whacked it in the chat there as well. It's non-KYC, so you can create your account in under a minute with just an email, and it is a great exchange to use. But yeah, we will take a look at OM. We'll take a look at Fartcoin. And where's it saying NutX? Okay, we'll have a look at that. Right, let's crack on. let's get going. Oh, we've got 38 people watching on YouTube. Thank you very much for everyone that's joined. Make sure you drop a like. I didn't realize we were up to that many viewers. That is great. I hope you are entertained. You should be anyway. Oh, Bitcoin's dropping below 104k again. Right, so fart coin, someone asked for first. Let's have a look at Farty. Oh, look at the call on Stonksy there. Yes, 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 yes. Look at that. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Look at that. If you've not got Stonksy yet, then I don't know what you're doing. 23%. Bang, there we go. Oh, that's what we want. Right. So if you notice on Farcoin, obviously one, I think you can it's probably better viewable on the daily. We broke the trend line. So whether you like trend lines or not, you can see, one origin, one touch, and then breakthrough, and then rejection. Pretty much pinpoint, bang, doo, see ya. So we're coming into obviously SR. You've got resistance, then retest for support, retested it again. So I think we could have one of two things. Now let's go to the 4-hour chart. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. What a call. It's still green as well. Oh, no, it's gone now. It's gone. Exited there. Very nice. We could have one or two things. We can get rid of that diagonal now. So we have a couple of areas where price entered supply. So we've got one here where price entered supply, and then we've got another here. So obviously this is support now until broken. So I think Fartcoin, obviously we want to watch what Stonksy is showing for the background if we get any sort of bullish or continuation of bearish. Obviously it's red on the 1 hour. But in terms of looking at your levels, this is SR. So if we break below and obviously start rejecting from the underside, I think we're coming into... Hang on, let me get rid of this. So we got coming into here, which again would be retest of... Hang on, let me make it a little bit more. Why is it like that? There you go. So you got retest of, resistance, sell off, consolidation, bang, origin of the second rally, or the next leg higher. So you got into there, or we have into here, which I believe is also SR. Yeah, that's like higher time frame SR. So you got 1, 2. So break below, one direction, and then if we break below there, then that's where it really needs to hold. I mean, 60 cents, you look at that and you think, how couldn't it get a bounce from there? That's just a retest of SR. How could it not bounce from there? Obviously, it couldn't. That's not financial advice. Neither is anything on this show. But definitely, I would keep an eye on them two levels for educational purposes. Now, to the upside, I would definitely keep an eye on these. So, you've got one, supply in here. You can see, just that was a relentless sell-off. So, push up into here. If momentum slows down, sell off. If we get above there, this will be key. Because if it gets above there, then probably can at least come in to take out the liquidity above here. If not, push on to new highs. So they're the areas I'll be watching for sell-offs if you are bearish, or if you're bullish. Then obviously, you could play it level to level or whatever, but you definitely want to see it overcome these two areas. So that's what I'd be looking at. Looking at it from a non-biased point of view, where potentially, you could get into positions to long or short, in theory. Yeah. So there you go. Hope that helped. Hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, that's what I'd be looking at on Fartcoin. Someone asked for something else. What was it? Where you got your bid set, Wizzo? Nutex. Oh, you wanted... you wanted OM, didn't you? Right, OM. So bad for OM. The thing is absolutely cooked. But if you're putting on your positive pants, or if you're putting on your you're wanting a reversal on this. So price has entered the previous range here. So as you can see, ages and ages and ages ago, well, just, you know, about a year and a half ago, whatever. Price rallied up, obviously very significantly, and then reached a point of exhaustion, pulled back, found support here, pushed up, resistance in the same spot. So this is, you know, an obvious point of interaction for the price. Price is now back inside here. So in theory, you know, we could drift down towards here, and that would still be okay for a retest. You're just retesting, obviously, where it previously found support. So we could see that. Or, I mean, to the upside, really difficult in it because of just how erratic it is. But, I mean, you know, you've got this area here where any sort of push up is exhausted in here. So you've obviously got supply coming into here. You definitely want to see it reclaim this. So this level that we've got throughout here, we've rejected yesterday, 2 days ago, yesterday, and today. So you definitely want to see it reclaim here and start pushing up. So yeah, I think, you know, you want to reclaim kind of like 33 cents. And then on the, you know, the bigger picture, this region here, like kind of like 50 odd, you know, 50 cents to 55 cents is where supply is. Price needs to clear that to then start pushing back up towards 80 cents. I mean, Stonksy's still red on it on the daily. It's still red on it on the hourly as well. Down from 40 cents pretty much. So that's a nice little drop. So that's a 20% drop achieved currently at the time of we're streaming. Not towards the lows, to the current price. So yeah, really nice drop on OM from Stonksy there. Yeah. So you can see the benefits of getting this. So if you are looking to up your trading or get a better indication of the market alongside what you're currently running, definitely utilize the background, the channels, and of course the oscillators. Full videos and articles on Medium as well on how to use it all, or you can just ask any questions in the Discord when you join. But we are, I think, pretty much open, aren't we, on US markets? So let me just scale into here. And we are open for US trading after the weekend. You've dropped some reports in, not one for stream. No, as they are closed. All right, okay, I'll have a look, mate. Thank you. Got a bounce. Thanks, Delta. Thanks for joining, mate. Great to see you. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for joining so far. Great to all have you here with me. Here goes the bell. Yeah, the bell did go, didn't it? Right. Jimmy Mack says, class show, love the 2:30 bell. Thank you, mate. Yeah, thank you. Oh, we've got 42 viewers. Do make sure you drop a big like on the stream. Do subscribe if you're not. And of course, make sure you sign up to BLOFIN and join Stonksy with the 20% off your first month. Links are in the description. Save says, please tell us about Sui if you haven't already. I haven't, mate. No, I haven't covered Sui, actually. We are getting a big, I was going to say a big push up, but we are getting a push up on US Open on Bitcoin. We've pushed up $150 so far. in the first 2 minutes. Let's see Sui. So Sui is interesting because what I did notice on Sui was it basically just melted through the level I was looking at. So I think I had this. I think it was here that I had drawn out, or I can't remember. I had somewhere drawn out, and it pretty much just melted through the level. But I still don't think that's even a bad thing. I mean, when you look at it, we've got support line drew by Stonksy here at $3.12, which pretty much lines up with like the extremity of support. I mean, you can see why. You know, we had resistance on it here, then support. So this is kind of like the extremity of support without a doubt, but it is, you know, definitely support. Now to the upside, this is what have I got drawn here? Yeah, so to the upside, $4.11 for me anyway, or $4.12, whatever you want to call it, is the area to gain for a daily close. So we want to gain this on a daily close. Now, where does that push us up to? This pushes us up to, so $4.12. You can see why. You know, this is where we hit resistance on the bounce. Then we smacked into it again here, and it was resistance, you know, pushing into it. Couldn't get over it for a daily close. Retested it again, then sold off. Now, we want to gain this for a daily close. I think potentially we could see a little bit of supply come into the market here around like 455 to 460-ish. Again, where we sold off from on the big drop. So like this is obviously my area, and then I think $5 here, obviously where price sold off from again, with it being, you know, just a nice round number. And I don't think it's on for an all-time high after that. I don't think anything else will really be too trouble for it. Now, how high it goes is obviously a different question, but you know, if you get above $5, I think probably just comes and sources the liquidity above there. So that's what I'd be looking at for the upside. I mean, for the downside, it's had a good sweep of downside. So you want to really see it hold here. Oh, I've got areas to take out here. And then you start coming then to fill in some of, you know, the origin move if it starts going lower than that. But yeah, you want to see it hold here. You don't really want to see more downside on Sui. Direction not down. What's that for? Heart doing well. Core Weave sending again, says Wisman. You're in dreamland, you. Dreaming of Core Weave. Smash like, says Cryptogenic. Yes, do make sure everyone drops a like. Please do drop a like. And of course, subscribe. If you're watching over on X, make sure you hit follow on the Stonksy page and head over to the YouTube channel and drop a subscribe as well. Please do come back and join me every single day. Do have guests on through the week as well. We'll hopefully have Justin on tomorrow. We have Save with Crypto on a Wednesday, and Fridays when Wiz can jump on when he's got time. Wiz jumps on as well. Wiz in the chat. Let's see. So Wiz is saying Core Weave is sending. Oh yeah, look at that. It's up 9%. Blimey. Look at that. It is, isn't it? It is sending. Yeah, 10%. It's not even too far away again, is it? For maybe pushing on to new highs. Bitcoin looks like it's getting a push. Let's go and dissect what Bitcoin's doing. It is. It's getting a push up at a couple of $100 now from open. It's having a strong open. See it in 3 weeks going offshore in the North Sea for graft. Wow. Hopefully price go up only. Mate, well, catch you in 3 weeks. Thank you for hopping in, Jimmy Mac. Safe grafting as well, mate. It's no joke, I believe, the North Sea. So yeah, safe grafting, mate, and see you when you get back. Thank you for joining the stream. But we will be carrying on now. Let's carry on going. Right. What we're on to next then? We've got Bitcoin sending on open. Up now. So we opened here. So nearly $500 from US Open, which is very, very nice, isn't it? Let's see what we got. Yeah, so stock market is repeating that as well. And if we go and have a look on the S&P, you can see here, we've got low time frame resistance coming in here, haven't we? From Thursday onwards, it was just bang, 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 bang. So it's coming in for another test now on the S&P. Now, obviously, it needs to get above here, and not just for a liquidity sweep. It needs to, reclaim this level, because this is definitely low time frame resistance. Now, if it does this, what I was looking at yesterday was pretty much the ease on how it could fast approach last week's high, and obviously $6,000 again, because the sell-off was very thin, wasn't it, and aggressive. It was literally just red, 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 red. There was no consolidation. There was no like low time frame supply zone built, nothing. It was just sell off from here. There's the supply, and then bang down. So if you get above here, there's nothing. The move up to it as well was very thin. So hence probably the ease of the sell off. But yeah, if we get above here, comfortably call it above this zone, like $15, 5,915 ish, maybe 5,920 if you want to be comfy. If we get above there, then it could easily pretty much just send back to the upside, and maybe come and take out liquidity above here, and then we'd approach then obviously the $6,000 level, big psychological level, but also this key daily SR. So definitely something to keep an eye out on the S&P, which could give Bitcoin the breathing room to push back upwards, as it is doing from open so far. Yeah, let me know in the chat what you'd like me to cover. We can look at whatever you guys want. It's an open floor. Let me know. So Powell is on at 6. So we've got just over 3 hours until Powell. There is some other stuff coming in today. Like we've got some stuff at 3 o'clock. Obviously, the big one being ISM manufacturing PMI, which is red, red importance or red folder. If you use Forex Factory, I think they use folders, so that would be a red folder event. But then obviously the big one. Got a Bank of England speech today as well. But yeah, the big one is 6 o'clock to see what he says. Personally, what do we think? I forgot to close the poll. I'll tell you what, let's get a poll into the chat. So most people thought it was going up, so well done to you people. But let's get a poll into the chat. Do you think Powell will resign? Let's see. Get your vote in. Now it's on. Do you reckon that Powell is actually going to resign or not? Or do we think maybe this is just built up speculation and rumour? What do we think? And of course, if you do want me to look at anything specific, get it into the chat and we can cover that. We are selling back off now after a strong open. We are back close to the origin, which is around 104k. Right, what should we move on to next? Keep getting dry mouth. Keep having to have a drink. I tell you what, I've not looked at Coinbase for a while. It's kind of rounding off, isn't it? Like, kind of like rounding off like that. I mean, we do have this open gap down here. Maybe does it? I mean, this was created, wasn't it, when it got listed on the S&P? We've got a big old gap down there. I mean, does it come down to close some of that gap? Interesting. I mean, the big one obviously is MicroStrategy. I mean, does anyone think that this kind of front run? I mean, did this front run the Bitcoin sell off? It did, didn't it? Or did it? No, it didn't. No. When was that? 27th was when we started falling down. Was that when MicroStrategy started falling down? No, it started. Does anyone think that MicroStrategy front runs the Bitcoin rally now or decline? I mean, when did it start rallying? The 9th of April. When did Bitcoin start going? Around about the same time, actually. But it definitely sold off, didn't it, before Bitcoin? I mean, it started selling off properly on the 22nd when it went from here down to here. And that was the 27th, yeah, so... Yeah, Bitcoin was up here, so... I don't know. Does anyone think there's anything in that or any theories on that? Does MicroStrategy potentially maybe front run what's happening with Bitcoin? Was it a scheduled announcement already or one out of the blue? What's this for? Sean? Scheduled announcement already or one out of the blue? What for? For Powell. He's got a speech today, so he's got a speech at 6 o'clock UK time. And there's just been like a lot of rumour, I think. There's like a lot, because he met with Trump over the weekend. There's been a lot of rumour that he might resign. And I think that's just where it's come from. I don't know if there's like... I mean, let's go and have a look to see if any of the... I don't know if these will have even reported on it. But... I was commented on Bitcoin, actually. So Satoshi Nakamoto now holds 120 billion worth of Bitcoin. Wow. And then he says, if Bitcoin does its normal 50% annual gain, then Satoshi will surpass Buffett this year and Zuck sometime next year to be the second richest in the world. That's interesting, that, isn't it? Do you know what? That's something that you've never really considered. I don't know if anyone else has considered this. But the fact that Satoshi is like, obviously, whether it's a group of people or one individual is up for debate. But, you know, the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto is very high up on the richest person in the world because of the amount of Bitcoin. I've never even considered that. Could you imagine if one day Satoshi is on paper the richest person in the world, and obviously it's a non-disclosed person / consortium? But Eric Balchunas hasn't reported anything on it. I don't know if it's like just pure speculation or not. I don't know. Who's to say they didn't? Well, this is it, Dean. This is it. It's probably a very routine thing, isn't it, for the chairman of the Fed to meet with the president? I don't think it's just like a nailed on, like, oh, the meeting, like something must be happening. I mean, I imagine that, you know, it's probably in the calendar, isn't it, for maybe a few times a year with the position of them both that they meet. So I don't know if there's really just people reading too much into it or not. I'm not sure. But it could definitely just be like you know, a routine, something that happens. You know, maybe I don't know if this is the case, but maybe, you know, the chairman of the Fed meets with the president twice a year or something. I don't know, but you would imagine it's definitely on the schedule for both of them to meet, given the, you know, the two positions. Satoshi is Jack Dorsey, says RN. Do you think so? I know there's a lot of like things with the dates and everything lining up with him, but I don't know. I know, but this speech booked in as normal, or has he met Donald? Then this is a new announcement. No. So this is, I think this is already scheduled because it's an actual thing. So he will deliver opening remarks at the Federal Reserve Board's International Finance Division 75th anniversary conference in Washington. So it's not like it's just been scheduled out the blue or anything. It's the Fed's Finance Division 75th anniversary conference. So it's like an actual event type of thing. It's not just like been scheduled out the blue. I think this will have been in the calendar for ages. Whenever this was scheduled, you know, I imagine this is obviously happens every year, doesn't it? This, given it's the 75th one, you would imagine it happens every year. So this will have been in the calendar for a while. I think it's just got so much attention because he's met with Trump over the weekend, and obviously, you know, everyone knows that Trump wants rate cuts. Powell hasn't cut yet. I don't know if there's maybe just too much being read into it or not, but Bitcoin is now selling off pretty aggressively following that pump on open. So we are back to the downside. Nobody will ever know. I know, yeah, that's it. I don't think he will say anything good or bad. We pretty much expect. It's just yeah. I mean, we know Powell very wants to do everything by the book, doesn't he? And obviously, at the moment, him and I imagine most of the board members see doing it by the book as continuing on with the trajectory of wanting to see inflation low in the 2% area and kind of just holding. I mean, we can go and have a look. Let me just pause this for a second. Let's go and have a look to see what the probability is of the FOMC meeting this month. So we've got an FOMC meeting in 16 days. So that is 2 weeks on Wednesday. And it is a 95% probability, well, 95.3 to be precise, that the Fed are going to hold current rates. So obviously this could change massively if Powell just comes out left field today and either resigns or says something incredibly dovish. But at the moment, it is a resounding probability that come the next meeting, they're literally going to do nothing and just hold. Now, for July, currently there is a higher probability for a 25 basis point cut. So that's currently at 23.4%. But obviously from now till then, we've got the meeting itself, and then we've got a hell of a lot of data before the 31st of July. You know, we've got June CPI, July CPI. Obviously, a whole host of 2 months worth of data before that, and then that's it. Then the Fed is on a break until mid-September. So we've got the one this month, then we've got another one about 6 weeks after that, and then that's it until mid-September, and then we're nearly at the end of the year, aren't we? So it'd be interesting to see, obviously, what this looks like heading into the meeting. But yeah, unless anything drastic changes, then it looks like the Fed are just going to hold going into at least July. And then, it could be July comes round and the resounding expectation is they hold. And then maybe nothing happens until September. And then I think it's November, December, isn't it? Right. Shoot says, I don't think he will say anything good or bad. Right, no, hang on, I read that before, didn't I? Sean says, he's staying then. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on, but I do know that Bitcoin's selling off. I mean, if we go and have a look, let's have a little rattle through the market to see what's going on. ETH pushed up very good, so I'm guessing, yeah. So ETH Bitcoin has actually pushed up a little bit today. We're up 0.17%. So obviously, when Bitcoin was pushing up, ETH got a bit of an extra push. And we're yet to obviously reach the point of, I don't know, where it was. It was pushing up pre-open, actually. So we have dropped down a bit. But yeah, ETH is outperforming Bitcoin ever so slightly today. Only a little bit. But it has got some strength there, now up to 0.25%. But I think everything, I mean, if we look at, so what's happening with Solana? So Solana is heading back down towards that region, it looks like. So this is, yeah, potentially coming in for a key retest on Solana. And I imagine Stonksy is just holding the positions on the 1 hour. So it's back into another one on Doge, actually. So it caught... Wait, what was that? No, actually, what was we looking at then? What was it, that? So it's still short on XRP. What was that? That had the second one then. What did I click on? I don't know. It's all right. TRX it was. Yeah, Link is still red. Yeah, we are potentially breaking down towards the weekend lows on Link. So yeah, looks like Stonksy is just holding. Nothing really changed on the hourly anyway. Obviously, the low time frames will be getting some stuff in, but yeah, still holding the shorts on some of the altcoins that it's short on the 1 hour. Dot's an interesting one, isn't it? Just never really doing anything. Yeah, if you do want me to check out anything in particular, what was that? That's down. I'm sure I've seen something 8% then. Oh yeah, Radium. Oh yeah, Radium's having a big old sell-off. Radium had such a good push up as well. Like, it had such a good push up, didn't it? Based on what they released and all sorts. I mean, you got clear resistance coming in at there now. That's your distribution. We kind of want to see Radium holding there if it comes into it, don't we? It's nearly there. Nice call on. There's that double confirmation. For anyone wondering, I mentioned closer to the start of the stream about the double confirmation. There is a full video on the YouTube channel called Mastering the 5-minute chart, and there is one about the 6-minute as well. What is the double confirmation? Basically, it's when you get the background plus the arrow confirmation soon after. So that's for obviously red or green for bullish or bearish. But the big volatile moves on the 5-minute and the 6-minute are caught really well by the double confirmation. But yeah, if you do want to take advantage and get Stonksy, it is the indicator that you can see in front of you. Then we are still running the 20% off. So it's the second link in the description. Or if you're watching over on X, hop over to the bio of the Stonksy profile and you'll be able to click the link in there. And come to start now, and then it is code BOT20 on this. So it'll take 20% off for you. That's down to £116. And then that'll get you access to everything. The indicator, the oscillator, the Discord server, and the trading bots. Covers everything. We obviously do have this on offer still. So this was £37 last week. We've put it up and we will be putting it up again this week. But this just gets you oscillator and Discord access. It doesn't get you actual indicator access, which is this. This is the oscillator here. And it does get you Discord access, but only them two things. If you want access to everything for the 20% off, then this is the one to go for. So do make sure you take advantage of that while we're still running it. That is pathetic. I have 2k of them, hoping they will go back to $50 per coin. No chance. I mean, yeah, I would probably agree with you, Sean. I just personally can't see a world where DOT would go back to $50 per coin. Dunder Thunder, how we doing, mate? Yes, Dunder Thunder. You've caught the towards the end of the stream, mate, but great to see you. SMFC says I dumped. Oh my god. I mean, you go and look at it. Where is it? And to be fair to it, this is the case with a lot of altcoins, isn't it? It's not just DOT. But I mean, it's literally at the same price as it was nearly 5 years ago. Like, how crazy is that? Look at that run up on it. Wild. But yeah, it's at the same price it was 5 years ago, and you're just like, I mean, this is big resistance, isn't it? At just above $5, like the $5.25 mark. That's big resistance. Then you've got, I think you can see this more visible on the daily, but you've got resistance here where I've drawn again, and then by the time you get past them two, that's a monumental effort in itself. You've then got this, which is the real high time frame resistance. You've got this to overcome. So you got this. That's a hell of a lot of money rolling into DOT to pump that even up to here. That's like a 2.5x up to here. And then when you do get above there, you have got a bit of an open road towards here. We've obviously got a lot of very thin inefficiency here. So, that if in the case that it did, that wouldn't be too hard to come through. But then you come into like really big weekly supply here. I mean, I just couldn't see it. I think the best case scenario would be like close to $20. And even then, like, how is it getting there? I don't know. Well, that's the case again. It's the case for a lot of altcoins, isn't it? Not just one. You do just look at it and you do think, though, don't you? Like, with how poor altcoins have been, a lot of them just probably won't survive like a Bitcoin bear market. I mean, with how bad altcoins have performed so far, how could anything or, a lot of things survive a Bitcoin bear market from here if they didn't get like a major run up to give them room to dump? Likewise, Amigo had something to do, just started the stream up. Thank you, mate. Thank you. I hold a lot of VeChain. Can you do? I'll have a look at VeChain, mate. Yeah, let's have a look at VeChain. Let's have a look at VeChain before we go. I used to hold a lot of VeChain. Last cycle. Isn't it? It feels like an eternity ago that now, doesn't it? It's actually a bit criminal how long ago that is. Let's see. So let's start off on the daily. I mean, we could start off on the weekly, but it's fine. I mean, we've got clear. We've got clear zone to hold down here, haven't we? Dating back to around this time last year. So, pretty much anything around like the 2 cents or 1.9 level is where it wants to hold for sure. That's dating back to like a year's worth of support. Up here, you can see exactly why it sold off where it did. You've got supply coming in here. So what do you want to see? Let me make this grey. Hang on. A little bit darker. So here's resistance. So obviously, I mean, we want to push back up, but we need to claim this as support and then push up. And then obviously we'd be pushing up for an SR test, wouldn't we then? So, you had support all along here on the daily. So you'd want to claim this resistance as support and then push up into here. Hold here on any touches. So hold here as support. This is resistance until broken. So here's your resistance. And then if you break resistance, coming up here for an SR test. From there, I mean, we could potentially sell off from there. or obviously if we claim it, then it's looking good. So that's probably what I'd be looking at on VChin. I mean, if you're asking maybe lower time frame, Stonksy caught. Oh, look at that. What a call by Stonksy to the downside there. Absolutely great. Upside, downside, a little bit of sideways. I mean, like it looks exactly like everything. I went through this at the start of the stream. Everything is looking very, very similar. In the altcoin world, same patterns. But if it bases off from here, then, you know, low time frame. Ooh. Maybe pull into here. Low time frame as a then directional play for pushing back up and separating it from going higher or not. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I assume probably if you're holding it, you want it to get that big run, which is, you know, seen on the daily, isn't it? Yeah, no worries, mate. Anytime. But yeah, big thank you to everyone that's joined today. Do make sure you drop a big like and subscribe before you go. And of course, we are still running that 20% offer. So take advantage of that. Come and get Stonksy for 20% off on the monthly plan for your first month. That is second link in the description. And of course, if you're looking to trade anywhere today, whether it be spot, futures, or just have an exchange to hold some funds on, first link in the description is BLOFIN. But that's all for today. Big thank you for joining. We had some great numbers today. And of course, I'll meet you back tomorrow for another stream. Have a great day. And until then, bye for now.